everybody, welcome back to the journey of my YouTube channel and welcome to a video that I am so excited about. This is my great big Realm Makers Writers Conference video where I talk about the conference and show you all of the books that I got from the conference. This is my book stack from the conference. I did not intend to bring home this many books. I will tell you about why I brought home this many books anyway. And this is not even all of the books that I will be talking about in this video because I also brought some of my own books to be signed by authors. So this is the most books that I have ever handled in a single video. There may be some disasters with stacks falling over or me like being out of breath because of all the heavy lifting that I'm doing, but I am really excited to go through these. It is going to be so much fun. The Realm Makers Conference was great. It was July 13 through 15, so I have not been back from that for very long. It's still fairly fresh in my mind, and it was so much fun to be around a whole bunch of other writers. And this is a very specific niche conference. It is specifically built for Christian, fantasy, and sci-fi and other speculative fiction writers, so a very, very specific crowd. So when you walk into Realm Makers, you just know that everybody around you has so much in common with you, and it feels crazy amazing. I got to meet a whole bunch of my classmates from the Author Conservatory, which is an online writing and business program where we receive mentorship from published authors and industry professionals and business coaches, and it's really cool, but it's online, so we don't usually get to see people in person. So it was so much fun to meet a bunch of classmates and a bunch of my teachers, and we just got to hang out and act like we're actually in an in-person school together, which would be really cool if we could do that. And I wish that I could give you links to all of these people's Instagrams or websites or whatever, but that would be a whole lot. So for now, I would just like to highlight Abby Lynn and Annika Crum and Hadassah Waugh and Gabriella Banasic because all of them had an incredible conference, and you'll be hearing so many exciting updates from them pretty soon if you go and follow them. So I'll just stick whatever links make sense for them down in the description so that you can check them out. And I have so many other amazing classmates too that I will hopefully highlight in the future, but those are just a few that you can go ahead and check out if you're curious who I'm going to school with, and they are really cool people. I also got to hear lots of amazing speakers. There are tons of sessions at the conference. I didn't actually attend most of them live because I was hanging out with people instead, and all of the sessions are recorded, so I will get to listen to them in the future. But I did listen to sessions from Steve and James, who I will mention again in a second, and Trisha Goyer and Steve Lobby, and they are all really cool people with so much publishing experience and know-how, and they just did an amazing job with their keynote sessions. I also got to pitch my book, so I got to talk about my writing with some incredible industry professionals and get some feedback from them. So I love that. Like, it was nerve-wracking beforehand, but in the moment I was like, this is so fun. And then both of my pitch appointments went super well, and so afterward it was just really fun to celebrate how well that went. So just overall, I had a great time. It was a great experience. But what you're probably most looking forward to hearing about is the books from Realm Makers, and I have 15 books to talk about today. 15 books that I got signed at Realm Makers. Well, I didn't actually get 15 signed. I got 12 signed, I guess. 3 of them I didn't get signed. Again, I'll talk about it. So let's just jump in. So first, I'm gonna set this stack aside for a minute. So these are the books that I got signed at Realm Makers that I already owned. Don't freak out about Tress of the Emerald Sea too much. I didn't have Brandon Sanderson sign it, but I did have one of Dragonsteel's editors, Christy Gilbert, sign it, which was so much fun. Christy Gilbert is a really neat person. We had so much fun meeting her, and how many books are signed by the editors? Like, that is just a really unique thing, and this copy of Tress of the Emerald Sea will be mine forever, and I will never get rid of it. I also got the Electrical Menagerie signed by Molly Reeder, who is an editor who's working with the Author Conservatory now, and I read this book long before she was working with the Author Conservatory, long before I ever thought I would get to meet her in person, so I am so glad that I got to. Also, Winter White and Wicked by Shannon Dittymore, which is just not such a cool book cover, like, it's so shiny. And I read this book a couple of years ago, and I thought it was so cool that I got to meet her, and she gave me some swag. Let's look at a little bit of this swag more carefully. This is specifically pre-order swag for book 2, which is Rebel, Brave, and Brutal. And these are playing cards of some of the main characters, and there's this art print it's really fun. There was the amount of fun book swag at Realm Makers, like you guys, you can't even imagine. It was crazy. And also Wistress by Nadine Brandes, which I know I've talked about this one on my channel before. Well, now it is signed, which is so cool. Nadine has come and spoken at the Author Conservatory before, and she's definitely a fan favorite around there and just around Realm Makers in general. It was so fun to have her. Okay, the huge book stack is back, so let's talk about the books that I actually got at Realm Makers that I did not have before. So, here we go. Here is Broker of Lies by Stephen James, who, as I said, was one of the keynote speakers at Realm Makers. And I am really excited to read this one. I think I'll start it sooner than some of these other books because it's a thriller, and I have not read a thriller in quite a while. I am ready for something that is not just fantasy, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. This is The Sun Still Rises, which is an anthology of short stories done in honor of Lonnie Forbes, who is the author of The Seventh Son. And Lonnie actually passed away from cancer recently, so a bunch of authors got together and wrote this as a tribute and also to raise funds for her family. So I wanted to support that. One of my Author Conservatory friends, Jessica Noel, actually wrote one of the stories in here, and I didn't realize that until I went to the conference and she signed her story, so that was really fun. This is Bard Tidings by Paul Regner, and I was getting so many Honor Among Thieves, the Dungeons and Dragons movie vibes from this, and I was like, yeah, I think I need that. I saw the movie a couple of months ago, and I thought it was fun. It was definitely not a perfect movie by any means, but it was a very fun movie to watch. I really enjoyed it, and I was like, you know what, this looks funny. It looks like it's going to be a good time. So I bought it and I got it signed. I also read The Emerald Enigma by Paul Regner, and it did succeed in making me laugh. So I think this one's going to make me laugh, and I think I need more funny books in my life. So I am excited for this one. Going to the opposite end of the spectrum from books that I think are going to make me laugh. Maybe this will make me laugh, but this is The Weeping Knight by Lauren Hildebrand, and what I hear from people is that it could also be called The Weeping Reader because that seems to be what happens when you read it. So I am really excited for this one. The author is, again, an editor and instructor with the Author Conservatory, so I totally trust her. I am sure she did a great job with this. Isn't that a cool cover? And I'm excited for this because it looks like classic fantasy, but I also trust her to like do interesting and unique things with it. There's a cool image on the back cover too. Like, I just really like this cover, and I think the author is going to do a great job with it. And I think it's going to be a lot of fantasy elements that we have seen before, also with some things that we haven't seen before. So I am excited for that. Then we have Fugitive of Talionis. The swag just fell out of it. That's okay. I wanted to show you the swag anyway. Look at this cool sticker, and it's like a business card, which I will use as a bookmark. And then there's the actual bookmark. How cool is this? All of this stuff was designed by Emily Haney. I can give you a link to her stuff. She does really amazing work. So I got this at Realm Makers. I didn't actually buy it at Realm Makers, but I backed the Kickstarter for this book, and so I got to pick it up in person from the author at Realm Makers. So that was really fun. I talked about both books 1 and 2 of this series, this being book 2, in the mid-year freakout tag that I just did. So I will link to that, and you can hear a little bit more about this book, but I didn't quite show the swag in that video, and the swag obviously wanted to be shown in this video because it jumped right out of the book. Next up, we have The Wonderland Trials by Sarah Ella, which is another book that I didn't actually buy at the conference, but a group of Author Conservatory students got together and did a book exchange. The book that I brought to the exchange was The Last Unicorn, which if you watch my mid-year freakout tag, you will not be surprised that was the book that I wanted to bring. I bought an extra copy of it just for that. But I got The Wonderland Trials, which actually won an award at the Realm Makers conference, so that was pretty cool timing to get the book right after that, and I've been hearing great things about it. Sarah Ella has also come and worked with the Author Conservatory in the past, so she's actually edited some of my writing, which is crazy cool, and it was great to see her again, and I'm looking forward to reading this award-winning book. I also got Of Fire and Ash by Gillian Bronte Adams, which is a book that, going into Realm Makers, I was like, if I only bring home one book, it's going to be this one, because it has been on my TBR for such a long time. I keep hearing such good things about it, and it is an epic fantasy in a world where the horses, certain kinds of horses essentially have superpowers, like elemental powers. There are fire horses, storm horses, river horses, ocean horses, earth horses, probably a couple that I'm forgetting. But it sounds really cool. And the author actually works with horses in real life, so she knows what she's talking about. And I can't wait to read it. It looks big and chunky. It's probably going to take me a very long time to read, but I feel so ready for it. I feel very ready for it. And book 2 is coming out soon. It has a really cool cover as well. It's called Of Sea and Smoke. So I'm excited to read this one and then be ready to read that one. Next up is another book that just dumped all its swag out. One second. Stan Hawthorne and the Broken Sword by A.C. Williams, and she also works with the Author Conservatory. It's not just a coincidence, of course, that I have all of these conservatory books. I was on purpose trying to get books by people who've worked with the conservatory so that I can read some more of what they have written. But I am really excited for this one. Again, I think this is going to be fun. I think it's going to make me laugh. I think it's going to connect me with my inner 12-year-old, which is going to be super fun. It's a superhero book, and I cannot wait for it. I really don't know that much about it, so I'm going in just ready to be surprised. I did actually read the Amazon sample of this years ago before I had any idea who Amy Williams was, and I thought that is so fun. I should read it. I should get it for my nephews, and then I don't know why I never did. So I'm very glad that I finally gotten it now, and as you have already seen, it came with some cool swag. We've got some more character cards here. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cool? And a bookmark. I think this is going to be so much fun. I can't wait for it. And then finally we have the Drossern Saga. This is books 2 through 4 of the Drossern Saga. So there's a story for this one. Enclave Publishing, the publisher that produced these books and a few other of the books that I have just shown you, had a drawing. They had a door prize to win this whole series, and I entered it and I won it. And I have this thing where I win prizes, like not every prize that I enter for, but an unfair amount of prizes that I enter for, I end up winning. It's just kind of a joke among people who know me. It's a very real thing. So yeah, I entered for the door prize and I won this. And I already had book 1 and I had already read it. That was part of why I was interested in the series and wanted to win it. So I gave that copy of book 1 to one of my friends at Realm Makers, and I just brought home these 3. The rest of the series, we've got Dawn of Vengeance, we've got Shadow of Honor, we've got War of Torment, and this is an author that I've actually gotten to meet virtually through Realm Makers in the past, so that is really cool. And then she sent me this package just loaded with book swag. Like you would not believe how much book swag. I need to show you all the book swag. I'm looking at it. It's over there. It's too much to unpack in this video, but if you guys want, I can make another video just walking through all of the book swag, because there is actually that much. It's insane. It's so much fun. I'm so excited to look through it more myself, especially as I read these books. So that was really fun. Okay, that was my Realm Makers conference recap. I'm also going to tag Paperbacks and Ponytails in this video because she talks about a lot of books that are written by Christians, so I think that she would maybe enjoy seeing this video, and I think if you like this kind of book that I'm talking about in this video, you will probably also like Paperbacks and Ponytails channel, so I will give her a shout out there. And I would also love to hear what questions you guys have about writers' conferences. Are there other things about Realm Makers that you want to know? I know a writers' conference is an experience that not just every normal person has. So if there are other things that you would like to know about it, other things you would like me to talk about concerning the writers' conference, just let me know. And I would also love to hear about it if you've ever had an author sign your book. Let me know what book it is, what author signed it, and if you want to, like, what did they sign in it? Did they just say your name? Did they just sign their name? Or did they do anything fun with it? I would love to know. And if you have any cool book swag, tell me about your cool book swag too, and what it is and how you got it, and if it has ever fallen out of your book on a video, because that's evidently a thing that happens to me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks for journeying with me. Bye!